Okay, working on the 70-ish International Dodge combination again. We are going to try to start it today. I am putting the turbocharger charge tubes on. That one right there needs a clamp right here, and I need to hook the other end up. I've done the other side. Batteries need to be hooked up. I got to plug in the airbag on the passenger side and the overhead, and then we're going to try to start this as soon as I get this intercooler tube here hooked up to there, which I'm going to have my friend here film this so I can actually do the work. Watch the numbers there. You might be able to get around the back and give a view in there. Maybe not. You can look at the screen and tell what you're looking at. I'm going to take this charge tube off, put a clamp over the end of that end, slide it back on, and tighten it up on both ends, and we should be pretty good for the intercooler. Let's take that down. Put charge tube up. See if I can find that thing again. Back up in here. Okay, this ought to be really fun. So right here where my finger is, I flared the end of this by melting it. This was about 4 inches longer, and I need that ridge to keep it from blowing itself apart. It was kind of a challenge when I discovered this was plastic. I was like, oh no, what am I going to do besides change it completely to steel? These boots that I ordered are extremely tight. They also are a very good boot. I'm surprised because I got them off of eBay. You never know. Got so much Chinese junk that makes me not so happy. And this one is going to be a pain. Okay, I'll put you over here. I have to take the nut completely off of it and argue with it after I get it in there. Maybe. That ought to be interesting. If I can get it in there. This was in there once before, so I know it can go in there. Get in there. Up, over, in. The other side, I had to do the other end first. Okay, I might have to do that too. I might have to pull this down, slide it into here, and then put it up on the other end. I think that'll be easier. Maybe. Maybe not. To get all the way in there like that. Rotate it up. Come on, get in there. Did it actually slide on? No, it's halfway on. It is going to argue with me. I'll have to go up top side. Let's go up top side. See what I can do. You can probably walk around the front, find my screwdriver that I was using to manipulate that. Can let me by you? Yep. I'll put the positive where it belongs. That'll be helpful to keep everything out of the way. Now if I can convince this to go. The boot's folded. Of course. Wrong direction. This is exactly the BS that I just got through dealing with the other side. Get under. I love this when it works all so smoothly. Oh, you're almost there. Oh, you can do it. Maybe. Ah, dang Dang it, come around there. Oh, this is really not good. It is wanting to mess with me, and it's not even the hard side. This clamp is not helping. I never do, so I'll jam it up out of the way. Oh, come on with a clamp. No. Need a shoehorn.
Yeah.
Literally. This is, you know, other than having my fingers stuck in there, it worked pretty close. This is the stuff you don't see in the funny papers. All right, that is in place. And that is in place. That was not fun. Normal. Okay, let's see if I can get the lower, make sure the lower's where it belongs. It's angled in to its position. Okay, I'm gonna have to do exactly what I said, just like I did the other one. Hopefully the camera's picking up better in my eyeballs, because it's kind of dark in there. I'm not a person that likes mechanics gloves, but we've had a lot of snow, and it's cold out here. Today's the warmest day we've had in weeks. And we're supposed to get 2 inches of snow tomorrow and 11 the next day. And my makeshift shop here is not pleasant. And what do you got going on here? If this isn't a spring one, I'm getting rid of it. No, we don't do non-spring clamps. So somebody must have replaced this. Dodge don't do this. They have a spring in here. If you guys are doing that, that spring, these nylon washers and the cheap Chinese ones you buy online that don't have a spring, don't buy them, because they'll back themselves off with heating and cooling. You want that spring. I'm going to replace it with one of the other ones I have. I hope. Maybe. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay.
That one up there
You see one up there?
in the white box.
Oh no, those are more Chinese garbage. I must have dropped the spring out of this, because this is looks like one of the original Dodge ones. Although I don't see the spring anywhere. I don't remember taking the clip off of it either, other than just now. We're going to use it for the minute. I'll replace it later. I want to start this thing. It has been forever. They do not hold enough constant pressure. Tell by the size of this did not have a spring there. I don't know how that got replaced somewhere along the line. Yeah. I don't really want it rubbing on this. I'll have to wiggle that around and get it straight. I can shift it a little bit. That'll work. I have to find one of those clamps with a spring in it. I won't have that. It will I can't get away with anything like that. It will just mess me up later. It always does. I always compress these springs so they're compressed completely and stop. It holds a constant pressure, and I've found them to work the best that way without blowing them off. These just, I don't trust them. All right, let's go upside and tighten that one up top side.
Okay.
You go around that way. If you go over there this way, you'll get the picture of me and what I'm doing all at the same time, so they don't think they're not talking to a real person and all that stuff. Anyway, this is the clamp we're tightening. That one is already tight. I've worked on so many of these Dodge Rams when the cab on the 07s go halfway over that valve cover on the back. They're a miserable truck to work on. They're actually basically designed to do any major engine removal, head removal. You lift the cabs off of them, which requires a lift, obviously. This one's completely open all the way back. I've made everything as simple and easy to get to as I can possibly do. I also need to make sure that ABS plug right there is not just sitting on it, which it may be. Go to coil bind, which is right there. All this is for lights, and like I had mentioned before, this little dude right here is for the airbag, and I will mount it in there. The steering wheel and the column are in there, and I will be putting the passenger side airbag. They are designed to blow straight up on the Dodge Ram, which I can easily do into the dashboard of this. Let's see, are we locked in? We are now. We were not before. Okay, we're gonna, that's tight, intercooler's all tight. All that's hooked up, everything's hooked up here. This is not, that's for windshield wipers. I haven't hooked that up yet. But all the fuse box is hooked up. All the electrical except the turn signals and the headlights are done here. I'll clean the battery post. We're going to go in and plug in the overhead display, and then the airbag, and then we're going to hook up the battery and see if this thing will start. Go through the passenger door over there.
Okay.
And I will try to bring enough light to, I don't know how, is it really dark in there?
No, I can see it.
Oh, this is really dark in here. Let me get some
I can
light.
see just fine.
Yeah, video picks up things my eyeballs do not, because I cannot see anything in here, and I need to be able to see the labels. So I'll bring the light over on your side and shine it in that direction.
All right.
So the light, you can just stick that into the truck. Hopefully that doesn't blind me too badly.
Master mechanic, you ain't got to worry about your eyeballs.
Yeah, they're very handy. Okay, so you want to turn that light down a little bit. That is, or straight up one, because it is brutal in my eyeballs. Okay, what I've done is I've got the whole entire wiring harness laying in here. Brake switch. It's all plugged into the instrument cluster. That's all stuff we're not going to use. This is the overhead display wiring, which we will be using. This is electronics for the heated seats. Okay. Which one's which here? Now that pretty much tells me that's the light, which means oh, I love organization. This is my unorganization. It'll get there. This will all go across the top of the cab. At the moment, I'm just trying to make this thing think that it's all good. And those are more lights. Where does this one plug in? And that has to be that. Can't do it. I would not put the plug on the clip on the bottom side. I don't think. Man, it really helped if I could see anything. Okay, that is the catch clip on the bottom. Why did they put the clip on the bottom? I just got through saying they wouldn't do that because it's just not logical to get it back out. I don't remember it being hard to get out of there. Obviously is going to be a pain in my butt, and that groove definitely goes to the bottom, so you definitely do go like that. So just go in there. Well, my teacher used to tell me the only time things don't work smoothly is when you're trying to show somebody how to do something, and it just goes all bad, and that is exactly what's going on right now. There are those 5 pins. There are those slots. Unless I got another 5-pin slot. Okay, there it is too. So, oh, that is a 3-pin slot. That is a 5-pin slot. That is for the. Okay, so that's why it wouldn't plug in. It's the wrong plug. So one thing nice about this thing, they only fit one way. Okay, that's hooked up, that's hacked up. So the overhead display will work. Okay, this plug that I was trying to use is the cab light in the rear. I labeled everything but these, of course, because I just took it out of the other truck, and I'm only interested that this thing doesn't think there's something disconnected, and I'm trying my best not to have that happen. So we can set that there. Then I am going to come over to your side and see if I can find the airbag and plug that in, although all it would do is tell me that there's a non-functioning airbag. I'd rather it not tell me codes. You want to switch over to the other side?
Yep.
See if I can locate. We could do that too.
Now the light's giving too much of a glare on this.
Too much glare.
Yeah.
That's what it was doing to me. I couldn't see anything. Let me fix that. This light is starting to be a pain in my backside. That better?
Yeah.
Better for me too, because I couldn't see anything looking over there. Now I can see everything. Okay, they're really good at this color coding. So the other thing we got going on, and I really want this, all the features, is the antenna is the heat, the temperature sensor for this thing. So this is part of, I believe, when I was looking at this, the antenna leads come off of it. I could be wrong. Nope, there it is right there. It goes up, goes into it, and then goes out to the antenna. with both the radio and the temperature sensor, which are marking B here, I believe. And I could be wrong, and I'm sure I'll hear about it if I am. And this is all color coded, so we're going to stick the airbag down here. Hopefully I don't set the dang thing off. That would not be good. That is it. Yeah, it's semi-hazardous. I really shouldn't be doing this, but I don't want to throw in an airbag code. We'll just put it upside down, make sure there's no chance that impact sensor's been injured. I've been very, very gentle with this. I don't know how this column got down here. That's not a good thing. The temperature, AC, HVAC stuff. I'm not gonna, we got a problem. This ground right here has to be grounded or this thing will have computer issues. I thought I had all the grounds. I'm gonna stop worrying about the HVAC controller at the moment. Take a real quick look at all my wires. This goes to under the seat. There are the booty warmer electric seat controls. And there's no ground there. No ground there. This will all end up running up under the dash when I'm completing, once I've discovered what I want and what I don't want. There's the heater plug. It's labeled. This is defrost, more heater. I think this was lighter. Yep, lighter. So we need to ground this. Where is going to be a good question. Okay. For the moment, I could just run it into any one of these holes, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use one of the screws we use to hold the trans cover over. And I'm just going to stick it in here. I'm going to grab my wire wheel on that. I'll be right back. And
Wire wheel, I believe, is right there.
Oh, it is right there. And that's a clip. They're all clips. Yeah, we'll just use this one. Yeah, that's clean. Okay, I believe I have a bucket of screws right here. That's what I have. Big, ugly Phillips screw. Yeah, the one thing computers don't like, and most of the time people have problems starting something, it's because they lost a ground somewhere. People don't realize, not everybody, obviously, if you're a mechanic, you know this, but these computers, most of them that I'm aware of, all operate off the ground. So the ground goes through the computer and is controlled by the computer, not the positive. And that is for sure on all the LSs and stuff. This is going to argue with me. I know it is. The other ground's perfect. This one should be okay. I'm not hooking up the heater. It doesn't need it. The airbag's there. Most of the electronics are, 99% of them are already in place. We're going to go around the front. We're going to clean the battery terminals, and then we're going to hook it up and see if we can get it to start. Hopefully it doesn't throw. I've been stolen code, which is not. Okay, you come up on that side. I'll put the light back where it belongs. for startup anyway. That okay with you,
Yeah.
light-wise? So for those of you that are wondering, why is that battery negative so tall? I have a 6x military deuce and a half, and it runs 2 of these batteries, and it's 24 volts in series. If they have a bad connection, they melt the post right off, and that's exactly what it did. So I took a piece of aluminum can, wrapped it around with a hose clamp, melted down some solder and poured it in there hot, created a new post. I need to saw it off the right height. Yes, this is not your battery post cleaner, but it looks like it works. I'll get it in my eyes, which I should be using some safety glasses. That is definitely one cleaned post. And we will not drop that off the front of the truck. And it's not so clean. Let me grab something to scrape it. Man, I am missing my battery post cleaner. It's either running around here somewhere or somebody stole it, which wouldn't surprise me, which would irritate me because I've had it since I was like a teenager. And it worked better than any of them I've ever seen. It wasn't a bristle brush. This is actually a scary part for those that don't know. If I've done something wrong, I will put this to you and it'll make bad sparks and smoke come out of somewhere, and hopefully that is not the case, and I seriously doubt that because I pay close attention. But we're gonna see if we got a spark. No spark. Yay. This has been a long time coming, and like I told you guys before, this thing has a yeah. You know what happens when you do things on videotape? No spark, no spark. Positive first, negative second. You need to do that, which I've already done on the other side. So now let's try that. Okay, still no spark. I'm happy. Look like an idiot. That happens. Okay, that needs to be clean. And the other thing I'm running into is because I didn't chop this off, this is rather small and crusty, which means I need to get a socket and see if I can get that loosened up so I can get it over the top of that and then tighten it down properly. And I think I have that just sitting here, so I'll grab it. I believe that's the same size as the... It's not gonna be. Of course not.
Size bigger?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
I'm sitting here using a 1/4-inch ratchet. It's what's in my hand. That was right. These things never cooperate. It's going to break off or just be a jackass. I did soak it down with some penetrating oil, but acid, like I said, it is going to break off. I don't know why there's even a second nut on that, but I do know I'm going to have to switch to something much bigger because this 1/4-inch drive is going to break. And something to stick. I just had a screwdriver up there, didn't I? Yep.
Yep. Sitting on top of the
It's
battery.
going to break that bolt. I'm going to end up replacing it. It needs to be replaced anyway. And of course I thought I had the right size on there, and I do not. Of course not. It's not a 1/2 inch, it's a 9/16. Love when I'm organized and everything's just right where I need it. Not. Makeshift lean-to stuff. The worst part is I just used it. And it was on the. That's 9/16. It's Friday. Here is my 1/2 inch. There it is. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. And instead of building a gym, ending up selling it, I should have built a shop. And I mean health club when I said gym. That's going to definitely snap that off. I knew it was going to. If it isn't soaked 3 times with penetrating oil, it's not going to. Maybe it is going to unscrew. That's crazy. Okay, I might have been talking shit about penetrating oil that actually worked. I can't believe that came off. Because that is a corroded, been sitting out here for years waiting for me to do something with it, and it ain't done yet, Paul. Shit, the corrosion just falling off of it. Is that thing actually unscrewing, or is it just stripped and spinning in circles? Yeah, it's stripped and spinning in circles. I need to put vice grips on the other side. So I just watched something. You see everything on YouTube. Everybody thinks they know something. A lot of these vice grips will have a Allen key on the end of them, so you can lock them as high as you can, then you can crank them down. This is actually vice grip, and it does not have an Allen key, although some of them do. For those that don't know that, that's actually something you can do on a lot of them. Now I'm going to have to go look at both mine. I think I had one that did and 3 that didn't. It's also an easy way to disconnect it too. This is not gonna, there's no way. I'll just say it's no way, so no way. And like I said, there's no way that rusted piece of garbage does not surprise me even slightly. And that bolt is, dang, oh, I'm latched onto both. I did keep it from rotating, but I need that bolt out. History, that's what that is. All right. See if I can spread that slightly, maybe. Yep. Yep. Need a little more spread than that. These are the things you're not supposed to have to fight with, except if you rebuilt the battery terminal, then you might. But we've used it on other vehicles and it works just fine. That is a problem. I will take my little death wheel and get rid of that problem. Like I was saying about vice grips, sometimes, are you watching me in that thing or just watching? I hear your dog whining.
Yeah,
she thinks she's abused.
Yeah.
She said, I hear you guys talking and I'm not involved and I'm not happy about it. Here we go. I did not set that near the positive negative. There's one pudgy dude. I really need to fix that. 2/3. I'm just going to leave it like that because we're doing the startup and then disconnecting everything again, because I got a lot more work to do under that dash, like attach it all, run the wiring. It's all there. Put the headlights in through the wall right there, through this plug hole and into the wall. No 1970 wiring. Move that. Go to the other side. Okay, let's switch positions. Feel like this thing's like working on the Beast, which is not this truck, by the way, because it's so freaking tall. I'm having to stand on step, and it's only that tall. Well, it's tall anyway, but it's 6 inches off the ground, or yeah, about that, to make it level so I could build the mounts like I had said in the previous video. Well, that's a good way to get ass in the eyeball. That'd be something I'll never forget. I also need to take this back off and paint the brackets that I made for it so they don't rust up. I'm not a big fan of rust. It's not patina, it's cancer. It's killing your vehicle. Sorry about that. It's true. Patina, what a $30,000, $50,000 in a rusted car. Yeah, you just put 50 grand in a cancer victim. It's gonna die. Not something everybody wants to hear, but it's a truth. I've been fighting rust all my life, and then everybody says, oh, it's cool, it's patina. No, and that's an engine, by the way. And that's a motor, electric brushes. Ooh, that'll make some people pissed off. Engine, motor. When I took my automotive classes, if you'd have come into the class and said motor, you'd have been exited the class and failed instantly. We were warned that right from the beginning, so it's stuck in my head. Ooh, I got to contact a little bit normal amount of spark. The other thing that isn't complete here is I have not built the battery hold down. As you've seen in the video before, I built these cutouts for this to hold the ABS, to hold the battery, to hold the fuse box, all that stuff. I ran the wire through the wall, all that, but I have not built the battery hold down, and it's one of those things. I keep looking at the companies out there that make those, and they're like $50 a piece, and I'm like, how much time does it take to build one of those? With me, it would be an hour or two, maybe, per. And when I go on a job, $200 an hour, depending on 150, depending on whether it's here or there, or if I'm mobile, it's $150 an hour. It's cheaper to buy them than to make them, and I just haven't decided which one. And everybody wants to use those Optimum batteries, and I have nothing wrong with Optimum. I'm just a little hesitant to put a Optimum battery in this. It is not going underwater. It is not, I pray it's not going to be upside down. I'm not a fan upside down. And this is the first time I've ever used a drill with a wire wheel on it to clean a battery post. So don't judge me. I'm judged. I'm going to get a lot of feedback off all that. I am a little excited. This has been a long time. I bought this truck, the 07 Ram, about 7 years ago or 6 years ago. Like I showed in the previous video, the body was completely destroyed. I expected the frame to be just super torqued. Then I discovered the frame was not torqued. It was not bent, even a little. A couple of minor tweaks on some of the brackets, but nothing. There wasn't a 5-minute fix, and that needs to be tightened, and I don't think that's going to happen, because that is a bad. Oh, maybe this one doesn't look as rusted. Maybe. Did I do with that? Oh, there it is. And this not working in a shop with this makeshift shelter over me. This is something I've been doing since I was less than 10 years old in this county. Since I was a kid, I've been working in the dang dirt. This is going to break that too. Oh, maybe not. Oops. Well, that's not even a... What the heck? Well, somebody's been in there because it's got a net on both sides. Maybe that's something normal. I haven't seen it. Usually it's a square net on one end. And
My poor dog.
your dog is not a poor dog. It's a spoiled brat, but not a poor dog. Well, that's something it ain't gonna like. This goes to this.
Let me come around so they could see.
No reachy. It's just a wire here, and it goes over here to this. And there ain't no way. Wait a minute. I might actually be able to make that temporarily reach. As long as I don't pull my wiring off of something or out of something. No, that's not going to reach. We're going to have to see if that stops it or not. I need to extend this, solder it, shrink tape it, run it over here. I'll run it over. I'm not even sure I'll route that yet. I like things really organized. And that, I'm not even sure what that is. I'd have to look at a schematics, and I don't have one. But I do know it needs to be hooked up. But I don't know that it needs to be hooked up to start it. I guess we'll find that out. Okay. Okay. I think this is the point where we put a key in and then see if I need to hook up more wires or whether the anti-theft goes up. No, I'm not doing it. You stole me. You're the wrong vehicle. What have you put on top of me? There's an International up there. That's the best thing ever happened to that engine. Okay. And what was that? There's a nut for something else. Steering column. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. Now I'm going to put all this stuff over on the bench. You can stand out here and I can go in there. We don't have any sparks, which is a really good thing. I'm just getting the visual of the engine compartment to see what happens when I engage the thing. And the other thing is I'm not sure. You want to be looking into the engine compartment.
I want to be looking into it.
Yeah, people want to see the engine start. Yeah. The other thing that may happen with this is the starter solenoid wires over there are the same color. So I'm assuming that they don't have to be one side or the other. I had a marked starter relay when I took it out, and I didn't determine distinctively right one to the left or right or to the positive or the negative because it doesn't display that. So we put the battery in the key. If this is anything like a GM, it has to be able to recognize this, and it has the column in it, so we're about ready to find out something. Maybe nothing will happen. I'm praying something will happen. Literally praying. Oh, shut up, you whiny dog. The neutral safety switch is also hooked up. Everybody knows that will not run unless you can't start it unless you engage the neutral safety switch. No, the flashers work.
Yeah, they do.
We have flashers. Okay. Look for neutral because everything is drivetrain wise. Okay, baby. 109,000. And I am suspecting that those are backward. So your dog thinks it's been abused.
Yeah.
So
She's sitting in a luxury Cadillac Escalade.
she's sitting in an Escalade thinking she's being tortured.
Because she can't be out here
Okay,
rolling
switch.
around.
Come around over here so I can get those wires switched to the other side. And hopefully that's what it is. So I definitely did get no turn overage. I heard it clicking, but I don't know if that's clicking because it has a bad battery connection or... Oh, come on. Okay. Those little boogers are on there. They just slide on and off, but well, just slide on and off, and just sliding on and off seem to be a little bit different. I'm going to move the air cleaner for a minute. I can get in there directly, not mess with the wires. I don't need. Okay, now I can grab those with a pair of pliers and pull them. My fingers are not doing it and they're half frozen.
Yep, I'm running into that problem. Having to put one hand in my pocket and hold the camera with the other.
Yeah, that happens out here. It's not exactly the warmest place in the world at the moment, and getting colder as the sun goes down. I heard it clicking, but I didn't hear the starter trying. You'll know if that starter engages. I mean, it could be a battery connection too, but we're going to go with that for the minute. See if that's it. This air cleaner, the guy I bought this from, running up a dirt road all day long, and obviously didn't care much about the air cleaner. And it's a washable air cleaner, so I don't know why he didn't wash it, but I certainly will. I'm going to start it and then deal with that. Okay, let me try that and see what happens. It could be as simple as that one wire that's not hooked up, of course, which would be par for the course. Check gauges. All the lights are on, of course, but it's going to do that. Brake, ABS, everything is on. It says we have a quarter tank of fuel. I'm trying to get my... Lord, I hope this thing won't freeze up on me. It should at least turn over. I don't know why it isn't. Could be that wire. I know that dog whining in the background is slightly irritating. She thinks she's dying.
Yep.
All right, let me back over here for a minute. Let me see that for a minute. We're going to take a pause from this. I'm going to do a little troubleshooting. Okay, last night we left off with one frozen photographer or guy holding my cell phone recording this at about 32 degrees. So what I have done is, after I calmed down from the excitement of wanting to start this and a total failure on start attempt number 1, which doesn't surprise me, I knew there was a risk of that, especially when I started thinking about, okay, what was that wire going down from the positive? Don't have schematics like I had said, but here's the wire. Here, I've soldered it, heat shrinked it, and plugged it in. Now, when I went on the internet last night and looked at this wire as best I could in free places to look at it, it powers the computer, I'm pretty sure, that's down there on the block. The other thing I discovered with this, because like I said, I have installed the entire Dodge Ram wiring, all of it, this is going to be 100% Dodge Ram. So, and one of the things that I've seen is that solenoid that you see on the wall over there underneath the air cleaner intake is, you know, you'll think, okay, Ford solenoid type starter, they used those for years. It's actually not a starter solenoid at all. I followed the wire around here, it comes up and goes into the intake air heater. So it's a supply for that. I've got this wire hooked up, which is obviously, if the computer isn't going to hook up, it's not going to even try to start, because the computer controls starting on these things, I believe. So again, I think I am ready to start it. This may be attempt failure number 2, but that's how it works when you transplant something this drastically non-related. My shroud is pushed down slightly. I don't think that's going to interfere with the... Get up. That's what happens when you sit in the engine compartment, but it's not in the fan. So I'm going to give it a try. Again, I've got the headlights, because these things are really hot, and they get up against other parts of the loom, they will instantly melt things. So I've got everything hooked up again, no spark when I stop. I hooked the connections up. Everything seems to be fine there. And right now we're going to find out whether this is another good attempt or whether I have something else that isn't quite right. These computer systems are extremely sensitive about having all grounds, and I've went over them again. This is the dome light. This wiring goes across the top of the cab, will go up there, and I will have the overhead display which shows the amount of fuel usage, outside air, ambient temperature, all that stuff. Here I'm going to actually install into this, and this headliner obviously has got to go. Somebody built this thing, and let's just say the humidity and moisture has got to it. So let's give this a try. All we can do is fail again, right? No, I will figure it out. I always do that. One thing I am interested in is why my odometer is showing reading. It shouldn't be doing that. There's nothing changed in the wiring. I just plugged everything in. Let's see what happens here. And the same thing. I don't know what's up that. The neutral safety switch is hooked up. I don't even have a lock looking up on that dash. I know all these lights come on just for the heck of it. But, okay, we are going to go troubleshooting some more. I was pretty sure that was going to be the whole situation, but evidently not. I can hear that solenoid kicking, and I don't know why it isn't working, because everything's coming to life. Temperature gauge is up, fuel gauge says quarter of a tank. Everything is diesel fuel, showing 14 volts, so 13-ish volts in the battery. 13-ish volts. Maybe it is a little low. Maybe I'll throw a boost box on it and my battery charger on high boost and see if I can get it. Maybe that's it. I don't think so. That's not engaging the starter. That's clicking the solenoid, and I don't hear the starter even trying. So I'm going to do some troubleshooting, and I'll get back to you. All right, guys, this thing's getting a little long. We're going to end it for this week. I won't be beat by it. Come back next week. We'll take a look and see what we can get done. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hype if you got the ability. It'll put me out there. I'm small. I want to grow. I'm working for likes. Yeah. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate all you, and God bless.